Hey y'all, it's me Reese, and I realized that I haven't really made a video in a while, much less haven't made like a how-to shop video. And forgive me, you guys, you guys are actually on my walker right now. So I know there's a lot of new guys that are on YouTube and trying to figure out how to do their shots and where the best spots for them to do their shots are. First and foremost, you need to consult a doctor, okay? I thoroughly encourage anybody who is thinking about transitioning, is actively transitioning, whatnot, be under doctor's care, because testosterone is a powerful hormone, okay? It's not something that you can just play with, and it's not something that you can just just mess around with. There are side effects. There are things that it can do to your body that, without proper care, can lead to really bad things. High cholesterol is one of them, and high blood pressure, things like that. Things that you really want a doctor to be monitoring. So, what you're going to need, and again, this is all assuming that you're already under doctor's care, that you're getting, you just got your letter, you're going to be starting testosterone soon. So, this is kind of the basic how-to, okay? What you're going to need is a syringe, and the syringes that I use are the 3mm 22 gauge 1 1/2 inch needle. Normally I like to use an 18 to draw and a 22 to inject, but right now I don't have any 18s, so I'm going to be using one needle and one syringe to go ahead and both draw and inject. Okay. Just to go ahead and prepare this, always make sure that your hands are clean. Okay, I just washed my hands prior to. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick. And I'm back. And for the benefit of YouTube, to go ahead and keep with the whole cleanliness thing, this is hand sanitizer. Don't make fun of me. This is... I bought it from Bed Bath & Beyond. Yes, it's a little hippo with a bling tooth. It was like $1. So you want to make sure that your hands are clean. Take off any jewelry that you have, and just make sure that your hands are thoroughly clean and sanitized, okay? So when you wash your hands, you want to be able to sing the happy birthday song at least twice. So do that, but with things like hand sanitizers, your hands dry off really quickly. And smell pretty good too. You're going to have your vial of testosterone here, and you can see that right there. You're going to have 2 alcohol prep pads, okay? The reason why you use 2 is, 1, to go ahead and clean off the top of the testosterone vial, and the other to go ahead and clean off the area that you're going to inject, okay? I know a lot of people use 1 pad to go ahead and clean both areas, but and since I just touched my hair, there's too much of a possibility of cross-contamination there with that for my liking. I also did take medical assisting for a minute, and I also took dental assisting, so I'm kind of a big stickler for that. So yeah, you take 1 alcohol prep pad. Okay, go ahead and take it out of the package. Take the top right there, and you just go ahead and clean it off. I try to rub it for maybe about 5-6 seconds, okay? There will be other people that tell you to go ahead and just do 1 wipe, and that's it. That also does work too, because it is alcohol. It does kill off the bacteria. Now, the package. Okay, it has a pull-away package here. Go ahead and pull it out like that. Okay, you're going to have The needle is removable, and when you take it out of the package, it is going to be a little bit loose here. Okay, you see how it's twisting a little bit like that? Go ahead and twist it so it locks completely in place. Okay. Now my dose is 1 cc every 2 weeks. So what I'm going to do is, you see that hole number 1 mark right there? What I do is I bring enough air into it so that way it's at 1.5 cc. You're going to take the air, going to bring the plunger all the way down to the 1.5 mark here. Okay. Carefully take it so that way the needle's out. Okay. And leave this here. I'm going to put it in a place to where I can go ahead and scoop it up later without having to do that. Okay. You've already cleaned this off. So most vials will have a little space in between the labels. Text message or notification to Facebook. Bring the needle inside just barely enough, okay? And I inject all of that air, and what that does is that creates pressure inside the vial, okay? So that way when you draw back, it should start pressing all of that in. And you see how I brought the plunger all the way back down to that 1.5 mark? It'll be a slow process, but it'll start filling up. Okay. I'm really going to try and keep this under a 10-minute video. And it's going. And what I do is I go ahead and I let it go all the way till it's at about that 0.5 cc mark. Maybe just a little bit over, so that way I can push out any air bubbles. Okay. So then you see how it has a little bit of air at the top? Go ahead and push that up. Push the air bubbles out. And I bring the plunger back up to where the 1 cc mark is. And I know it's hard to see with my clothes. Okay. You see how now it's at the 1 cc mark? Okay. Go ahead and carefully bring that out. And okay, you see how it's at the 1 cc? Okay, remember how I said that I had the cap off to the side to scoop it up? Okay, take the needle and very gently place it back into that container so it's still loose. Okay, so that way you don't accidentally prick yourself or hurt anybody else. And you take that second alcohol swab, and where I'm going to inject is going to be on my left thigh. Okay, when you inject on the legs, I do it right in this area outside here. Okay, when you do it too much in the middle, there's too many veins, arteries, and things like that, because one of your main veins, your arterial veins, runs from the hip bone out and down. And you don't want to nick that. That is really bad. Your quadricep is a very large muscle, and the bulkier part of it, is on this outside here, okay? So when you flex it, you'll see that there's that nice round bump right there, okay? I'm going to inject right around here, okay? And I'll try and do it standing up. But, again, open up the alcohol swab, and you clean off the area where you're going to inject. And you give it some time to air off, because the last thing you want is the feeling of alcohol going actually into the skin. Okay? Bring that syringe out of the cap. Pinch the fat up. This is just what I do, okay? And let's see if I can do this here. And just bring it in, straight down. Always make sure then that you aspirate. So you're going to pull back on the plunger to make sure that there's no blood. Okay, because if there's blood, that means you nicked something. And if there isn't, go ahead and start pressing all the way down. Again, this could be a slow process as well, just getting it into your system. But it's okay. Take your time. I've noticed in the past that when I've tried just rushing it and just plunging it all the way in, it's actually left a little bit of a bump. And that's just because too much of the testosterone was up towards the surface. And you want to make sure that this gets all the way down into the muscle. Okay? So, it's all the way down. Plunger's all the way down. Bring it back. Let go. And massage it in. Okay? That helps the testosterone stay in the muscle, keep it in, and not come back. Again, put that syringe back into the cap, slide it, and when you're done, go ahead and click it off. Click it in so that way it's completely covered. You should have a sharps container as well. I currently do not have one on hand, so I'm using a neighbor's, and I'll be taking it over to her house here shortly. So, again, I just go ahead and massage it for a good 30 seconds to a minute. Okay? And everything's good. So that is how I do an IM injection for my testosterone. Again, make sure that this is all clicked. I go ahead and remove both so that way there's absolutely no possibility of anybody getting injured, poked, anything like that. And I will be taking that over to my neighbor's house here in just a second. So, yeah, that is how I personally do my IM testosterone injections. And the testosterone that I am currently using is 200 milligrams, 200 mg/ml. Excuse me. And again, I said that my dose is 1 cc every 2 weeks. I can do 0.5 every week. It's just easier for me to go ahead and do it bi-weekly. For some people, you will experience dips as the time gets shorter towards your dose. I personally have not experienced any of those emotional irritabilities or anything like that as it gets closer to to my shot time. I have had that maybe once in a blue moon. But I've been doing my injections for 4 years and a week and a half now, something like that. So, yeah. But there's no new changes for me to really go ahead and share with you here. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that helps somebody out there. But remember, be good to yourself, be good to everybody else, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.